Hello, viewer. We're here today to talk about some of the new Signature Series out-the-front autos from Microtech, and we're comparing them to some of the classics that they've improved upon over time.
The classics are sort of newish too. So they've gone from flat body to the tri-grip.
No, GT500, still classic.
No, the contour chassis, it's been out at least 2 years.
They operate so much better though.
They do, yeah. We can mention that in the video.
So...
We're in the video.
We have the...
Oh, okay.
We're in the video? Oh, God.
Oh, the files are in the computer.
So we have the Ultratech Hellhound with the DLC Blade and the Signature Series in all tactical, so black hardware, black clip, glass breaker.
OD chassis.
Yep, OD chassis.
And the all-important
signature clip. No.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right on it.
So
you know it's good.
The Signature Series does not, or the Signature Series does not say what type of steel it is on the blade, and also does not have a serial number. I don't know if it does if you scan the barcode when you register your knife.
The Troton logo, or the Microtech logo, does have a little registered trademark on it now.
Yes.
Which is not in the past. Oh, look, it's on the chassis now, too. That's new.
I got my Ultratech like, oh, God, maybe a year ago, and I don't even think that has it on there.
I had a Troton from, Jesus, was it maybe the 90s? It didn't even, I mean, it was a smooth chassis, doesn't matter. Anyway. So these are both, this is M390, this is 204P, which would lend me to believe that these are definitely got to be a premium steel. I can't imagine that they come up with ATS 34 or whatever. But I'm just trying to kind of show the difference, you know, get as close as we can when you're looking at the Signature Series. So you get an all-new logo, get an all-new clip, style. I don't know.
Said you do get the DLC over just the painted blade, which is kind of a big deal.
This is not DLC?
No, this is DLC. This is just like a powder coat.
No. Well, it's got to be thinner than that.
Well, this is shiny. So they specifically marked that this is a DLC blade, and this is not. This is just like a black blade.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's like a powder coat or.
They say paint on their website.
PVD.
They say paint on the website because they
paint,
can't be powder coat. It's way too thin to be.
Well,
powder
it could be
coat.
like PVD. It could be Cerakote.
Yeah, it could be PVD.
We did accidentally get an invoice from Microtech for some parts and equipment, and
I saw that. I think that was an accident on their part.
I don't know if I responded to that email, but I was like, okay.
I did not. I just kind of looked at it and was like, okay, we'll just file that away. But the Hellhound Blade, they're coming out strong with this year. Like, it's always been kind of in their repertoire the last 2 years, give or take. And now it's all over the map with this Signature Series. Like, you can get, we have, I don't know how many we probably have
5.
8 or 10 different models upstairs with the Hellhound Blade.
We have 5. We have 3 UTX 70s, and we have Ultratech, and we have a Troton.
Is it just, all right, anyway. Doesn't matter. But,
we've more than we've ever had before. 5 times more than we've ever had before.
I don't know. I think that little Hellhound Blade, I like it. It's cool looking, and it is the best letter opener I would ever have.
Here's my only problem with it, is that the Chinese market jumped on this blade fast and made so many of them that I almost associate this with the Chinese market, and so it's going to take me a little while to get over that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get you there, and I agree. And before I really got a handle on Hellhound in person, I was not a fan, but I mean that DLC Hellhound, man, that's
I agree for sure.
Blade.
But yeah, I didn't mean that in a bad way. It's just like an association.
Oh, I totally get that.
I mean, China jumps on all kinds of shit and just ruins it.
I really wish that what they had done with this, what they did with this, is a two-tone. Because everything else is a two-tone.
Yeah,
that
two-tone
DLC
here.
with a two-tone would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Again, I'm looking for my...
They did it with the Apocalyptic finish. They did two-tone. The Troton, they did it with. And I wish that they had done with this. It would have been, even if it wasn't tactical, or since it is tactical, a two-tone would have been so...
Just like
I wonder if it'll
cleaner.
wear on the flat surface then from the use.
I don't think so. DLC is supposed to hold up a lot better and tougher. I don't know how thin it goes on.
But does DLC have the kind of thin tolerances that like Cerakote has? Because I thought that was the benefit to Cerakote is the super thin tolerances.
I'm sure you
because
can go...
even on my Scarab, which is again over there, which I've reached for a couple of times.
We can tell you have a scarab, Mike, because you're just da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I can't do that. This is me.
Here's the cheater way. Here's a Microtech tip. So if you want to open it, if you want to close it this way, that's fine. But if you can't close it this way, flip it sideways and do that. Or you can John Wick it and you can do that. No offense to Keanu.
Yeah, he'd probably murder us anyway.
Well, I've seen him run a 3-gun.
Yeah, that was
kill me.
impressive. Well, overall, I think their signature series is going in the right direction. It's kind of dressing up. It's like getting the GT version of your car. It doesn't really change much. It just
this is a suit and this is a tuxedo.
Yeah.
I kind of dig the ambiguity with the signature series.
I do too.
Like with the steel and the serial number, it's just kind of.
It talks for itself.
Yeah.
It's like
The zombies did that.
Yeah, those are cool. I like those. People love those, man. Those are cool knives.
Are we people?
Would I own one? Probably not. But
people also love The
Buy
Walking Dead.
Alistair's birthday's coming.
Negatory. I am a meat popsicle.
We are getting a combat Troodon in
Zombie Tech?
yeah, man, and you're gonna love it.
I guess.
zombie
I'm telling you, man. You're
It's
gonna love
zombie
it.
done.
I don't know what it is.
Although I do dig that I had a UTX 70. It was so old it was sterile. It had nothing on it. It had nothing on the clip. It just had a little MT on the clip.
Yeah.
And I had it forever, and I lost it in my truck. And I was like cleaning my truck one day, like detailing. I was cleaning out the back, and I found it kind of stuffed in the back seats. I kind of found it stuffed up underneath the plastic cowling, like next to the seats, and I just saw the ass end of it sticking out. I have no idea how it got there, and pulled it out, and then it got kind of effed up here and there, and it wasn't really working right. And so I sent it back to Microtech, and they're like, "Hey, we think it's a fake because it was all sterile." And I was like, "Well, no, Tom, because I bought it from you guys like 7 or 8 years ago. I've had it for a while." And they're like, "Oh shit, okay, yeah, cool." And then they fixed it and sent it back. So I've always had an attachment to the UTX 70s because I think this was my first Ultratech, and then eventually I got a Troodon and a combat Troodon, and then several Scarabs, and I've had 7 or 8 over the years. But this was always my first one, and I just love this thing.
It was also the only model that they ever sent a fresh blade to us for.
Yeah.
There was a guy that used to work there, and he got fired, or he stopped working there very shortly
He
after.
sent us a lot of parts. And he didn't last long. And a new blade. Yeah.
I think that's a little frowned upon.
Yeah, it's definitely frowned upon. I mean, we kind of understand the decision
Brian.
Microtech made. His name was Brian.
He was the nicest guy ever, and he was so helpful. Conical screws, everything.
Microtech had kind of been like, I think they were working on the MSAR at the time. Oh. And so they'd kind of been out of the knife game for a couple of years. And we just had stacks and stacks of Microtechs waiting on parts and, waiting on warranty service. And then along came Brian and we're like, hey, we need this and this and this and this. And so we just got all the parts in. We fixed them all, gave them back to the customers. I fixed mine. And then Brian was gone.
For the record, his name is not actually Brian.
It was understandable, but it was a nice thing. We had probably 15 to 20 Microtechs that just needed parts. I mean, we can send them in if you want, but they're going to be gone for a month or two because there's got to be thousands of people across the country that need things, backlog on warranty while they're working on the MSAR. And they sent the parts. I mean, and we had 20 Microtechs serviced and out in like a day and a half.
Yeah, and
2 of which were
for anyone who's ever taken apart a Microtech, the little springs that hold the little doors that allow the blade to open and close are called conical springs, and they're like, they start big and they go little, and they're like little cones, and when you open it up they go boop, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
But when you get them from any company, side hustle or not, they come in a pile of things,
and you gotta unwind them,
twist all
which
of them.
is why we don't have carpet anymore. We used to have carpet at the time, and you take it apart, and the little counter screen go bing, and it hit the carpet, and you're like,
it's
fuck.
gone.
Yeah.
Now we have hardwood floors, so you just go down, and you just kind of do this, and you're like, oh, there it is. Okay,
Yeah.
and then you put it back in. But now we have hundreds of them.
I don't know. I look at this, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could see Elon Musk stabbing someone to death on Mars with this. I mean, it looks like a Mars knife. Look at it.
This is how he's gonna die on Mars. I just want to die on Mars.
Is it hot on Mars?
I don't think so.
Is it hot on Mars?
No, it's not hot on Mars. It's cold on Mars.
There's no atmosphere, so if you're in the sun, you're like
there is.
Isn't
there a very slight atmosphere?
Yeah, there is an atmosphere, but it's like 140 mile an hour winds are like thing because there's no density to it.
Yeah, sure.
Which is the guy that wrote The Martian. Like that was his one thing. He's like, I realized the start of the premise is crap,
but I needed something to keep them there that wouldn't destroy the planet.
But I mean, you got to think if a guy's going to own Tesla and he's going to own SpaceX, as long as this isn't electric powered, this is probably kind of what he's going to use.
He's definitely going to use the
probably
signature
send someone
series.
to get a moon rock and make a knife out of it.
And this is how you're going to get that fucking moon rock. There we go.
I think it's great. I like the options that are provided to us now for Microtechs. The Hellhound was always like a myth to us, and we're like, what is this? Like even the flask that they make this titanium flame flask that goes for like $1,000 on the secondary market. Yes, it's a thing. And
flask.
Yes, like a flask. With
hey, Microtech.
With
Mike needs one.
do you remember that badge when you get like the Marfioni Customs and you get like that velvet?
Oh yeah.
Don't mock me. I'm thinking. This is my thinking face.
She's the one that signs your checks, dude.
Yeah. Which you'll have to do tonight, apparently.
Oh shit! I lost my pen and my scarab.
But when you get the Marfioni knife and it had like the little badge, the dagger badge, whatever the symbol was.
Yeah.
And it was like the Velcro thing that would peel off. The flask has that. It's like I actually don't know how big this flask is. I don't know if it's like regular size or like big size, but it's this flame flask with this like weird knob, and on the secondary market I've seen them go for like upwards of $1,000. I'm like, but what are you doing? And so for us to get something as obscure as like the Hellhound series or signature series with like in a regular order, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what else can we get? Because this is fun.
Well, I mean, there's kind of no limit to what we'll order. I mean, we just kind of build as fast as we can.
But if we don't know it's out there, how do we order it? Because
that's kind of the thing.
Like the last video we did, like that was, I mean, some.
Well, we used to have to do by phone call, so we get like a weekly phone call. Like every 8 days, we get a phone call from our rep, and he'd be like, well, I have this and this. I'm like, okay, I'll order that, and I'll order that, and all that. And the more you would order, the more he'd tell you he had. And so I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll order that and that. And he goes, oh, okay, well, I also have this. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll take that too. And he goes, oh, okay, well, I also have this. And so we'd order that and that and that. And so
it was more of a.
Well, it was like playing a game of like Guess Who. Like, come on, just tell me what you got, I'll buy it all.
Sounds like a good way for them to move inventory. That's
well, I mean, I don't want to talk shit. I mean, they're just trying to, what they're trying to do is they're trying to like, for their big customers, you can't sell all the fancy shit to the fucking low rung guys, and all your big players get screwed. So I mean, I understand what they're doing. It makes sense, you know what I mean, from a business standpoint. But the problem is being a dealer that can't necessarily get over that hump. We really can move some products, but we have to have the right product. We can't have 8 models every 6 months and expect us to grow as a dealer. But if you show us what you got and show us what is available for us to buy and actually get a hold of, we'll move up as fast as we can. And we really like their product. I fucking carry their product. I mean, I promote it every day, even when we don't even have it for sale. I promote it every day. It's in my pocket.
You've sold your knife out of your pocket many times.
I sold my Navy Scarab out of my pocket.
Worn one.
Yeah,
I remember it being, the phone rings, you see who it is, you're like, do you want to sit on the phone and write down SKUs? So it was like, you sit on the phone and you write down all the SKUs that you have.
And then you got to do the math
And
in your
then
head.
you
Oh wait,
go-
that's a 3-blade. That's a 10-blade. Wait,
okay,
I know I have 5 blades.
And
What about a 140? Do we need a 140? No, wait. How about a 223? Do we need a 223? Oh wait, shit. We might need a 223. It's like,
So-
I can't keep it all straight.
one person would like, because we would have to like know like the -2 or the -12 or the -3T.
Yeah, that seems
and so
really
we
inefficient.
like one person would sit on the phone and write the SKUs down, and the other person would sit there and be like, and we just like point and like make an order from there, and then you pay for it, which I mean you still pay for it ahead of time, and then you get these knives in, but they never have a problem selling, and it's just like a fun thing. And in the out the front world, there's nobody else that does it as well as Microtech. And I always love having them in. I don't mind paying for them ahead of time.
I don't either.
I don't mind investing because it's an investment that always pays off. And we've never had a Microtech sit on the shelf It always sells.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
I agree. I
Except
agree.
That SoCon bottle opener.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll buy it. I'll take it home.
No, you won't. We have 2 of them.